Hey, Magic Man here, and bringing you another game in the Graf Spee. This is definitely one of my favorite cruisers, and the reason I'm bringing you another game in this because I've been playing it a lot, trying to level, or I should say leveling up my German destroyer captain, and I am actually doing that because this rank season is going to be, well, it's going to be tier 6. Is what this ranked season is going to be, and so I'm going to give ranked another try, mainly due to the fact that tier 6 doesn't have any super cheesy ships like at tier 7 or tier 8. I'm just not a huge fan of ranked at that particular tier because you have all these tools like radar and hydroacoustic and those ships at that tier, especially the premium ones, they have access to that stuff when they shouldn't. Like battleships at tier 8 have hydroacoustic, like the Bismarck, which I think is a crappy thing to give a battleship. If your hard counter to battleships is going to be destroyers, you probably shouldn't give battleships the tools to deal with destroyers. Especially the Bismarck, because it has those just ridiculous secondaries. And so yeah, that's just my opinion. Now, I'm leveling my German destroyer captain because, oh wow, and I actually get all three of those back ones to hit that Pensacola. I'm surprised I didn't get any Citadels, but I'm guessing it hit too high and too far back to actually Citadel them. But it does a massive amount of damage. But yeah, I'm leveling my German destroyer captain because I'm probably going to be playing the Ernst, the tier 6 German destroyer, because it does have hydroacoustic, fairly good torpedoes, fairly good guns, and it has, middle of the road concealment with concealment expert. So that's what I'm going to do. And the B-hole has quite a bit of health for a destroyer. 15,400 at tier 6 is quite a bit. So that's why I'm picking that ship for ranked season, and the last couple of ranked seasons I haven't played any just because, I thought there were a lot of super cheesy ships, and I just am not really too high on playing against those ships. It's just really frustrating. That's why I haven't played since probably the second ranked season, just because it's so frustrating. So I'm gonna give it a shot this year, but if it's frustrating me again this time, I'm just not gonna play because, well, I like to play this game to have fun, and to have fun I like to win. And when my teammates don't really help me achieve that goal, especially in a rank setting, which is where you're supposed to be helping your teammates as much as you can win, then it's just not fun to me. So if it gets frustrating, I'm just not gonna play because I don't want to be frustrated. And that was a really bad shot on my part. I probably shouldn't have taken that shot because that dude's definitely gonna get out of the way. I should have just used my front turret to shoot at this New Mexico, and I should definitely be stopping here because the smoke screen is concealing me from these guys. But we do have control of the ACAP, and as long as I'm here, I don't think they're going to try and push in. Who knows? But we have a lot of support here, so I don't think they're going to try any funny business. Especially not with all these torpedoes heading their direction. I probably should have switched to HE right here since this guy just took a torpedo hit. But I feel like the armor piercing does quite a bit of damage on this ship, especially on a target that's selling as side on to me as this guy is. Which is great for me because if I could actually land a shot, I could do quite a bit of damage to him. But I'm having a hard time finding the range, and that was really crap damage right there. And I fire at the mountain that time. Good job. But yeah, with the rank season right around the corner, I'm going to give it a shot. I feel like the Ernst is going to be a pretty good destroyer to play. There are probably some better ones, like the Anshan, that'll probably be a better overall destroyer because it has the same torpedo range. And I think it might have about the same concealment, but it's definitely got better guns. So you'll be able to, even though they're only 130mm guns, you'll definitely be able to affect the battle a little bit more with your guns than the Ernst. But that's just my opinion. Who knows what'll happen? We'll have to wait and see. And it really sucks that our Farragut is trying to get himself killed here. He basically open fired on these guys for no reason. That's one thing you can't do in American destroyers anymore. I mean, you used to be able to do it back in the day when there was stealth fire, but the American destroyers, up until you get to probably the Benson, it's really not worth it to open fire anymore unless you are knife fighting with another destroyer. So, yeah, that's kind of the sad fact of the American destroyers anymore. They are no longer stealth firing damage dealers, which is definitely how I played the Farragut. You know, I'd go out to 11 kilometers after laying a smoke screen for somebody and just stealth fire the crap out of some battleships, and it was good times. I was really disappointed when they did away with that mechanic because it was the only way you could really do a lot of damage to battleships in that thing. So now you have to play more as a team support ship than anybody, and we get a fire on this New Mexico, and he's definitely going to go down, and our fire actually takes him out. We're luckily holding down this cap even though the enemy has a destroyer here, and unfortunately as soon as I say that, the enemy destroyer gets in the cap, and he is going to cap it. There's not really a whole lot I can do to stop that. I'm going to try. I'm doing something really risky here. I'm turning broadside in front of this Geniza now, which is really dumb, and because I'm not paying attention, I actually kind of missed that shot a little bit, but that's alright. I was hoping at this point that our cruiser, or not our cruiser, but our carrier was gonna throw some planes over A and spot that destroyer, but he doesn't really seem like he's too interested, and I actually get lucky and get an over penetration on the Miyoko even after he disappeared off of the map. And let's see if I can get a shot in here. Just take a snapshot, and I get one over penetration. Wasn't really worth it. If it stuck in the ship and done like 2,000 points of damage, it would have been, I'd have been ecstatic, but it didn't unfortunately happen. And I really want to take out this Miyoko, but I don't think it's in the cards for me. He is definitely actively trying to avoid shots. And in case any of you are actually wondering, I do use a dynamic crosshair. And we get the Citadel. I was hoping he was going to kind of turn out a little bit, and he definitely did. Also, the dispersion of the guns kind of helped me out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the dispersion does help. It just kind of depends. And I sunk both of those volleys into that mountain. If I'd have just waited another split second, they probably would have went right over, and probably more than likely dealt quite a bit of damage to this guy. My team is going to recap A though, luckily, so I'm going to turn out and basically head towards the B point, because it doesn't look like I'm needed here any longer. With the 3 battleships here, they can definitely take on this Colorado. That's no problem. And man, Colorado's come a long way from where it used to be. That thing was, whew, it was crap back in the beta, and for a while after the game released. I remember there used to be a saying, and it was whoever has the most Colorados is going to lose, because that battleship, man, back in the day, it was awful. It had bad dispersion, it was slower than hell, it had a small health pool for its tier, wasn't very tanky, and until recently when they gave it the improved heal, where it could heal more of a percentage of its health than most battleships, It didn't really have anything going for it. But now it does, and this T-22 is unfortunately coming out right in front of me. Well, I say unfortunately, it's unfortunate for him. I only hit 2 of those HE shells, and that Emerald gets smacked, and he's dead. And hopefully he's going to keep on sailing in a manner that's going to allow me to hit him. Because I really only need to land 1 shell. And that one's going to come up short. That one's going to overshoot. That's that German dispersion for you. Maybe I'll get lucky and get something here. Who knows? But that guy's only got 24 health. It'd be nice if we could get a hit on him. And I'm being fired on by a Cleveland. We get a torpedo hit on the Colorado to take him out. Luckily for me, he didn't see it coming. And I'd like to get turned around here. It looks like maybe our carrier is going to take out the T-22. Yeah, and he does. He dive bombs him, which is great. Would have been nice if I could have got that kill. But unfortunately I don't. This guy's sitting broadside on. It really sucks that I had HE loaded, but I wanted to make sure that if I hit that T-22 that he was going to die. I luckily do get a fire on this Cleveland. He's going to put it out. And I actually switched to armor piercing because I want to deal a massive amount of damage to this guy. Or at least I want to try to. With that kind of dispersion, I'm probably not going to get lucky enough to get him with the Citadel. Yeah. And we get 3 hits. One of them is an over penetration. So I don't deal a massive amount of damage to him like I wanted to. I did land the shots in the middle of the ship about where that Citadel is, but the Cleveland, while not being an especially hard ship to penetrate, it does have a very small and tricky Citadel to hit. That shell in the middle there landed exactly where it needed to, right in between those 2 small smokestacks. That's where the Cleveland Citadel is, and that's why the ship is so hard to sink consistently, because its Citadel is tiny. And let's see if we can get the killing shot in here. That might be it. It's not a bad shot, it's pretty good. Yep, and the 2 over penetrations are enough to finish him off. So that makes our 4th kill, which isn't too bad. I was really hoping to get a Kraken in this game, but at this point I'm pretty far away from the enemy, and it's going to be hard to land any shots on these guys. But I've basically done what I've needed to do, and I've at least been influencing the cap game. And I should have fired in front of this guy. This happens every time I do this. You'd think I'd wise up to the fact that this is going to happen now. Yeah. He started moving forward, and that was just enough for that last shell to come up short. If I'd have landed just 1 penetrating shot there, that wasn't an over penetration, that would have been enough to kill that guy. But unfortunately, the shells do not go exactly where I want them to, and he ends up getting away. I should know by now, every time I shoot at somebody who is reversing, they immediately slam it forward, and my shots typically miss. But then there's always that one guy who will just keep reversing broadside onto you. And this dude slammed on the brakes almost when he came around this corner. Yeah. And I completely just jacked that shot up. Still got 1 into him, and I'm hoping that he's gonna speed back up. That's kind of what I was counting on here, but I forget how slowly battleships accelerate. And wow, both of those shells went way under where I aimed them. But that's just dispersion for you. That's German guns. These battleship guns just have terrible, terrible accuracy. But I kind of deal with it because I really enjoy being able to shoot at cruisers with these guns. Because when I do land some shots, oh man, that's some bad dispersion right there. I don't think I'm gonna actually hit anything. Yeah, and we get one over the top, one under him, and one behind him. Yeah, straddled him very badly, and of course he kind of turned out, and that last shot missed. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be killing anybody. I just can't get the guns to behave well enough for me to actually score any hits at this long range, which is par for the course. If you're in a German ship, you just have to spray and pray if you're in a German battleship. Well, this is a German cruiser, but battleship guns, so, you know, battleship dispersion. And unfortunately for me, the Scharnhorst is in a much better position to get a kill, and this Gneisenau is basically, yeah, he's essentially just going to sit behind this island. But in case he does try and speed up and get away from the Scharnhorst, hopefully those torpedoes will be right there to take him out. But I'm not counting on it too much, because that Gneisenau seems pretty content with just sitting there behind the island. Yeah, he's still just sitting in the same spot, which means I'm not going to be in a position to take him out, but that guy is. So now I have to hope that this Cleveland shows himself again if I have any hope of getting a Kraken. But once again, the Scharnhorst is out in front of me. He's going to have the better angle, and I'm just not going to be able to hit him. The Colorado also has a better angle on these guys. So, oh, and there's a Ranger. Maybe if I get lucky and hit, like, I don't know, 6 Citadels, then I can take him out. Actually, with the Citadels on this thing doing about 8,400 damage, and him only having like 31,000 health, I'd only have to hit 4 of them. But I don't get that lucky, unfortunately. And the game is going to end right here with the cap. Okay, so moving on to the results here. We actually sunk 4 ships, got really close to getting that Kraken. If only I could have got the gun dispersion to go a little bit more in my favor, and just landed 1 shell on that Cleveland. Could have got it, but didn't. That's alright. Did 72,000 points of damage. Got 1,700 base points of experience, and the Scharnhorst there actually must have done quite a bit of damage if he ended up on the top of the team there. And the Scharnhorst is just such a powerful ship because the reload on the guns, you can really punish cruisers. And we actually end up doing 70,000 points of damage with our guns, and then a little bit more with some torpedoes. Only did 1,000 with the torpedo hit, and ended up making 172,000 credits after this was all said and done. So the Graf Spee is a pretty good ship for making money in if you can do well in it. But anyways, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. Okay.